Sorry.
No, you're
good.
good. Okay, so we've cut up all the cabbage now. And as you can see, I thought I didn't have much, but this is all pretty much outer leaves, guys, remember. So we're gonna throw this out. This was not food, remember? This was trash. Well, it doesn't look like trash to me. So I've cut it all a little thicker than coleslaw because remember, we're gonna smash this down. So what I wanted to show you now is our next step. I've pre-measured our salt. Now this recipe I think is 3 teaspoons per 4 cups of cabbage. I think I have 24 cups of cabbage. So here is my salt, simple math. You're gonna add your salt directly to the cabbage. No water is in here, guys, this is just salt, okay? Salt. I've also pre-measured, I think it was a couple teaspoons or a teaspoon each of, for the German sauerkraut, which is my favorite. It's the most basic. We've got juniper berry in here, mustard seed, and caraway. That's it. Simple ingredients. Again, you can go ahead, get to town on it, get it in there. Let's get that stuff infused. So the only next step we do now, and this is why I love sauerkraut, is it's just so simple. So sometimes the instructions will look too complicated because they're too simple. So what we do now is you're going to wonder about these instructions. I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? That doesn't look right. I know, it doesn't, does it? Well, this is what's so fantastic. And let me tell you, my grandma and her grandma and my mom and my sister and just about, I think, every living creature on my side of the family eats kraut. And the grossest part, when they don't have fresh kraut, they'll eat grocery store kraut, and it is gross. So, is your kraut cooked? God, I hope not. If your kraut's cooked, you ain't eating real kraut. You're eating cooked cabbage because kraut has got nutritional benefits beyond belief. Yes, we're adding salt into some. They're on salt-free diets, but we're not adding a lot here. What we're adding is just for the breakdown of the cabbage. You could probably make a kraut with something else. I don't know, a citric acid or something that would keep it from going bad, but I don't know. I know that the traditional way is just salt, and all we do is what you're seeing, which is I'm basically smashing it down. I flip it over, and I keep smashing it down. And this is actually for sauerkraut. It's got like a little beater bottom on it, if you see, and a flat bottom. And what's cool about this cheesy little tool is commonly you're not putting your kraut in a 5-gallon crock like me, because you're not crazy enough to do that. Most people want small amounts of kraut, and what's super cool is I would normally use like a 1/2-gallon jar, and this is fantastic. So once we've got it all beat down, and you can tell because it'll be sitting in a pulp of kind of fluidy cabbage water, once I get it to that, I start shoveling it in there, and I use this to just smash it down because you've got to pack it in. You don't want this stuff loose. We want it packed in, and then the fluid itself comes around it. We let it ferment for as long as it takes until we see percolating, and then when it's done percolating, we're usually ready to eat. And if you've not had fermented kraut, what's so crazy about it is all the kraut on the market is not crunchy. I don't know what the dealio is, but that stuff is like mush. Maybe it's all cooked. Even the fermented kinds aren't crunchy. I bought them in the kimchi. Guys, make your own. Kimchi, Napa cabbage, okay? Not a big secret here. It's in every grocery store. Might be fun for the family. Hey, we're gonna make some kraut today. It's really quick and easy. And even more than that, you like some good German food, which we love, or just a bowl of this stuff. Heck, yesterday was St. Patty's Day. I'm sure everybody was eating it. This is something that you can keep in the fridge for, God, probably a year. I mean, I know that fermentation lasts a long time, but I think it'll be eaten before you even get a chance to really, see it get old, because I've never seen it get old. And when cabbage is in season here on the farm stand, I'll make like 4, 5, 6 cases of kraut for people to purchase. And some of the weirdest ones too, like cilantro kraut and stuff. And it's gone. I can't keep up with it. The demand is there. People love it. And guys, if you want to talk something awesome, how about let's talk about how our second brains, our intestines are dying. They have no life left in them. Well, guess what this is for your second brain? This is probiotics. This has got, once it ferments, this has got all the good stuff our gut wants, and this is something we should be eating more of. So again, why are we wasting all of those outer cabbage leaves? When did those not become food? When did those become just looks on the product? You know, I was just telling Rhea, who's behind the camera here, who was eating some ginger because her tummy wasn't feeling well, and she went to peel the ginger, and I said, wow, what are you doing? She said, I don't like the skin. And I said, don't you know, all the best stuff's in the skin? Folks, don't peel your skin. Eat your outer leaves. I know it might be different. We weren't raised with it, and it does. The texture of a potato, the outside, if you're not used to that, you're going to go, oh, I don't like it. Well, it's there because God put it there. He didn't put it there for you to peel it off. He put it there for you to eat. So, again, cabbage outer leaves, broccoli leaves. How many people have grown a head of broccoli? Maybe a success or not. You got 9 million leaves around the plant, and once the head is done, they get rid of the plant. Those broccoli leaves are broccoli, folks. May not look like a head of broccoli, but that is broccoli, and man, is it good. Get those leaves. Everybody's buying those broccoli salads at Costco and everywhere, and all they're doing is making $1 million on the fact that you didn't eat your broccoli leaves. And they're making money on it, making salads and stuff. So, you know, take advantage of those big hefty leaves because those babies are loaded through nutrition. You know, don't pick yellow eating gross ones though, guys. We want nice and green. So if you want to take a peek here, we're starting to get, let's see, a little bit of fluid.
Nice.
And you can see it's starting to smash down. It doesn't look quite the same, does it? You keep going. So you want to keep massaging. You got to massage, massage, massage as much as you can. All of this squeezing, grinding that I'm doing, this is all causing the salt to make fluid in it.
Could you do a kale kraut?
Anything. Kale is cabbage also.
Okay.
So it may not be a cabbage head, but just like anything else, it is from the cabbage family. And yes, you can do a kraut out of anything. It's like when we talk pesto, some people go, oh, you know, my basil pesto. You can do a pesto out of anything. You can do a green onion pesto, a stinging nettle pesto. So, you know, we got to stop thinking there's all these rules with this stuff. Kale, heck yeah. You got a whole bed of kale and you don't even know what the heck to do with it. Get out there, cut that stuff down. It's nice, tough leaves like this. So it's meant for exactly this type of thing. And you know what? There's 1,000 internet ideas for krauts. You don't have to just make my kraut. Hi, Emil. Hi. So Emil is helping us in the kitchen today, as you know. He likes to get busy, whether we're in the garden or in the kitchen, huh, buddy? And, you know, we rely on him in the future to be a future farmer of America because we were just telling him how it's going to be worse for his generation. So we need him to be taking care of others and growing good food and showing them how to preserve food and all those good things. Because this boy likes just about every kind of food that exists on the market. So I think we can safely say we're getting there. We're not there though yet. Now the outer leaves are a little more work to get all that fluid, so don't ever give up. And if you feel that you can't get any more fluid, you're just getting tired, you can stop and you can use, because you've got the proper amount of salt in here, a little bit. What we'll do is I'll show you how we mash it down, and I'll mash it down in the jar, and I'll use the smasher, and when I do it, we're gonna add a little bit of water so that, because you don't want it dry, we have to have it fluidy, but some leaves, like outer leaves, are tougher to give up. They don't like giving up that fluid too quick. You'll see it later today or the next day. They produce more fluid as they go on, but we definitely are just about there. I think what we'll show you, now I would do it, you know, maybe 5-10 more minutes, but for the sake of the baby, we don't want to drive him insane either. So I'm going to show you in this little jar as an example what we would do is I'm going to actually get a funnel, and I know I have my canning funnel around here somewhere.
Hi, boy.
Let's see here, or not. Well, forget the funnel. You looked at an hour for it. Okay. Forget the funnel. I was not prepared. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our jar. Get some handfuls of it, press it in there. Now, since this is not a giant recipe, I won't use my crock, but to folks that aren't aware, there's multiple ways that you can do canning like this. See how I'm smashing that down in there?
Nice.
All right. I like that. Fill up the rest. Someone's
Like
playing
that?
music for us. Okay, smash that down. Now remember, guys, I had, how much did I measure at 24 cups I started with? 24 cups, and I think we're actually, we're gonna just fill up this 1.5 gallon jar, which is a total of 8 cups. So you can see as you're working the recipe, if you have close to the same amount, then you've not pounded it very long, because it should smash down into a smaller amount. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of juice here, and then we're going to add just a little bit of water.
He's trying to grab your foot.
He is grabbing your foot. Okay, now we smash it down one last time. Boom, boom, boom. Now we have a little trick that we have, and that is a weight. So anytime you are fermenting, you're going to need a glass weight. You're going to need something to hold it down. Big crocks have giant weights like this, and you set it on top of all your cabbage. Mason jars you can get these all over the internet. They're little glass weights. They're all different types. I like the one with the little nublet to hang on to, but they all do suck to lift out. So you put this in, boom. It's sitting on my stuff. Now, normally I would prefer it even to be higher, but if you watch, when I start pushing, if you get a push, you're gonna be able to see the fluids. See it all? So we're not gonna add too much water. I can add up to 3 cups of water per the recipe, but we don't need it. We don't need it. We're gonna actually give this some time to just dwindle down in there. So here's how it works. We want fluid on top. If it dries up on the top and you see no fluid, it can mold. Don't throw it out. Throw out the chunk of mold. It's not bad. Mold can only occur on the surface, not anything beyond the fluid level. So what you're seeing is just a little bit of mold. It's not going to affect anything except for the piece that's sticking out of the fluid. So you always want to check on your fermentation, because that water, believe it or not, in a couple hours will be gone. It will have gone down into my fluid. So and we're cold here right now. Fermentation happens the best about 70. We're not there. So it's going to be a slow fermentation. Doesn't mean you can't do it. It won't go bad. We put the salt in there. And you guys, it's a phenomenal thing when you watch this occur. Oh, buddy. So what I have right here, now you wouldn't use this on the crock. These little fun things are just to prevent a mess on a mason jar. Because of a mason jar, we have a solid lid. A crock doesn't have a solid lid. It's got a crock that releases air in and out. What we do is, so that this does not bubble over and make a yucky mess, which it probably will do anyway, I'm going to tell you. Let me find a lid to a mason jar. Is that one? No? Okay, hold on, folks. Let me get by you, Rhea. I think there's one right. Oh, there we go. Here's the jar with them all. Okay. So, boom. These are all over the internet too. I like this one. There's all kinds of fancy ones. This is the cheapest one, and what I like, it's a rubber. That's it. It's rubber, and if you look, the tip opens. That's all. So that it can release the bubbles out. So when we're fermenting, it's creating bubbles. Bubbles make gas. Gas wants to explode. If you don't give it a way to come out, it'll make its own way out. So I made hot sauce one year. It was the coolest thing. I fermented tons of it and forgot to tell certain customers when they called it volcanic explosion hot sauce, because a couple customers just had a picture of how their whole kitchen had been repainted in the hot sauce. It was sad. Okay, so these chunks right here, guys, do you see all those green chunks on the surface? We got to get rid of them all. So that will create bacteria. So every one of these little leftovers, tell them, Emil. No. So every one of these chunks will get moldy. So we do not want to leave them on the side. Just wipe them down, get rid of them. That's it. Get all the mess off. That looks pretty good if you ask me. Tuck those little herbs down in there. I mean, this should give you a lot of ideas, folks. You can ferment anything. This is not just cabbage. We're making kraut. This applies to anything in your garden. Get crazy. Go ferment something. There doesn't have to be rules. So this is my lid. I've got the glass weight in there. We've got the saltwater brine. Don't make your own up. Get on the internet. Follow the exact amount of salt, because if you add too much, you don't ferment anymore. There it is. So now you want to speed up things. If you have a plant heating mat, I think they reach maybe 80 degrees, 78. You can have fermentation 2 weeks, done.
Wow.
If you don't, you just want to wait, let nature go slow and the way it should be, well, then you take that little beauty right there, and I just put her off to the side like that. And to be honest, they look kind of good on your counter, and it makes you want to eat more greens when you see all that. So I think Emil and I have done a good job teaching you guys how to make kraut. Until our next video, which could be on doing dishes or waving. I don't know which one, guys, but thank you.
Bye.